Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. In this video today I'm going to show you quick and simple steps how to paint this fall pumpkin palette that will bring a lot of those beautiful autumn fall colors to your outdoor living space. Hey everyone, welcome to our channel, the Southern G Moore Gals. Subscribe to our channel. My daughters and I have started this channel to bring you some seasonal DIYs, and we need some more subscriptions so we can continue to grow our channel. Connect with us on Facebook and share our videos on Facebook so we can build our channel. But in this video today, I'm going to show you my classic fall pumpkin palette. It has a lot of the colors with the reds, the yellows, and the oranges. The first step I usually do with my palettes is stain my palette, and I've already done that. If you want to actually see me going through that process, look at my sunflower palette, and it will show you me staining the palette. And in my sunflower palette video, I'll also show you how to do the whitewash background. And that will give you that weathered rustic appearance if you stain first and then do the whitewash. So I've already done those steps, so we're going to start now with our pumpkins. I'll list my paint colors in the description. I have 11 boards on my palette, so I want 2 big orange pumpkins here in the front, and I'm going to go up to about the 5th palette with this pumpkin. And you know, pumpkins aren't perfectly round, so we want him to be kind of like a lumpy, bumpy. And you can start out kind of smaller and then make him larger if you feel like he needs to be bigger, but I want to be able to fit 2 here. So here are our 2 large orange pumpkins in the front. And if your outline is kind of smeared or not real defined, that's okay, because we're going to go back and put some contrast or put the ridges in the pumpkin. Next we're going to move on. I'm going to mix some orange paint and some white to do a lighter pumpkin. We're going to make a taller pumpkin on this side and one on this side. Okay, for our next pumpkin, I just mixed some white and orange. I put a little bit of yellow too. And I'm going to go up about 3 boards here on the next pumpkin. And I want him to maybe be a little taller. So these are our 2 lighter pumpkins, and they're just both kind of right on the edge. And now I'm going to go back and put one more bright orange pumpkin up here on this top side, and that will be all of our pumpkins. So this is my last pumpkin, and I used the bright orange again, and he's just kind of peeking out from the side here. We're going to let these dry, but while these are drying, we're going to move on and put some green. We're going to use green and make some vines coming around the top corners here to add some green into our palette. So I'm going to take my green and we're going to put some leaves up here in this top corner and kind of a vine coming down, and then we'll add some little purple petals on there. And you can fix these however you want them. I'm going to start it with my small brush, then we can go back and fill in. You can stop it. So these are the leaves and the vines that I put in the top. Now you can do these however you want to do them. I'm going to go back and use a light purple and a dark purple and kind of put some little flower petals hanging off of my vines here. And you can take your dark purple and kind of just go around the edges just to give it some contrast around the light purple. I'm going to do my writing in purple, so this will really blend those 2 colors together, having just a little bit of purple up here. So next we're going to move on to put our stems in the top of our pumpkins. I'm going to use a green just because I want to see a lot of colors in this palette. You can use a brown if you want it more toned down and don't want to see that the green in the stems of your pumpkins. Don't go all the way though to the top of the pumpkin and put your stem. Come down a little bit. I think that gives it a better look if you start a little bit further down. That way you can see some of the back part of the pumpkin behind the stem. So I went back and put stems on all of my pumpkins except this top one. I'm not going to put a stem on this one. And then I just went back and added a couple little places where I put some vines and leaves and the flower petals around. So we're going to zoom in on those so you can see. And then next I'm going to show you, I'm going to go back and put the ridges in my pumpkins. And for these bright orange pumpkins, I'm going to do a red, and it really makes the colors pop if you use a red. You can really see that really good. And then for the lighter orange pumpkins, I'm going to do a yellow. So here's my pumpkins with the ridges. I used the red on the bright pumpkins here on these three. And then I used yellow on the lighter pumpkins. If you want a tan, you could use tan, or even darken your orange with a brown. You could use those colors for your ridges, but I like these bright colors. I think it really makes the pumpkins pop out. Next, I'm going to move on to my saying or my writing. I'm going to put Happy Fall, y'all, on my pumpkin. You could write anything you want to put on here. You can put just Happy Fall or Welcome Fall or Welcome. But that's a saying we see a lot here, so I like that, and I'm going to use purple. If you have any trouble with your writing, you can trace it on here with a pencil first. That is an option, and then go back and paint it because that will cover up what you've written on here. So here's my saying and my letters. I just wanted you to see. I think the purple turns out great. It's a great contrast with the orange. And a lot of the times with my lettering, I may have to go over it twice just to get it a darker color. Next, I'm going to put some leaves on here. So the last part, went back and put some leaves on here. When I originally did this palette, I tried to pick leaves off the tree and paint the leaves and press them on here, and that didn't work well for me. That may work for you if you have a stencil. You could also do that, but I just went back and tried to mix in my reds and oranges together and just tried to freehand some different leaves like they're falling down. I have several on the top and just one here on the bottom. So you could place these wherever you want to add a little bit more color, or you don't have to put leaves on here at all. I think it looks great without them. I just tried to incorporate a little bit more of those fall colors. Now the last step that you want to do, let your palette dry good, and then you want to take some clear spray paint. I usually get 2 cans of clear, and once all your writing and everything's dry, take the clear and cover your palette. Be sure you get around everything that you've painted. Let that dry, and then put a second coat of the clear. That way it will protect your paint from the rain and the weather. So here's our finished palette. All the colors look great. You can really display all those bright fall colors in your outdoor living space. I leaned my palette up against a telephone pole. I would recommend using a bungee cord or some rope or something to secure your palette if you're leaning it up against a tree or a gate, so it doesn't fall down and smudge some of your paint or mess some of your paint up over time. Subscribe to our channel. We have a modern pumpkin fall palette I want to bring to you too, hopefully this week, that will show you the more modern farmhouse colors if you like that look. And thanks again for watching.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
He's gonna get you! He's gonna get you! You're not gonna get him? What he does? He's still throwing. I don't want them.
Something in there. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What is that? Ooh. Where'd it go?
Where is it? Big old beetle, ain't it, buddy? Oh! 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 Uh-oh. Where's he at? Where's that beetle?